We now in the second part of our presentation where we are going to ask a question. It's called Decoding University Webinar. So I'll be asking questions, plus I will be taking the questions that are on chat. I hope that's okay with you.
Yeah, definitely. Please go ahead.
Most important is we need to understand why students want to go to Canada and why Mount Allison University. So I find if you want to study abroad and if you want to study in Canada, why not study in one of the best universities in Canada? Why not study in the #1 university in Canada? Okay. The benefit, one most benefit that Mr. Sujit told in the end was that your visa success rate is very high when you're applying to a good university. You are able to prove yourself that you are a genuine student and you are applying because you want to really do well in a particular career. And that's why you have selected that particular university. And you can write a good visa SOP for yourself. So that's wonderful that, one strong reason on why Mount Allison University. The question that I'm going to ask to Sujit is that you have a wonderful option of mix and match. It's a very good option because let's say a student who has taken a wrong decision in earlier part, has not taken a maths, because English and maths are very compulsory in most universities when you are choosing. But if suppose you have not taken a maths and you are applying to Mount Allison University, you can take a commerce field and then jump to the field of your choice. So it's not that your wrong decision of not taking a maths is going to affect your future career. So that's a wonderful thing. Can you just explain about the mix and match thing? And I know it's wonderful. I just love the concept.
Definitely, I would be glad to explain that. Usually, a 4 years bachelor's in Canada is giving 120 credits. Students need 120 credits to complete the degree in Canada, right? 120 credits includes your majors, your minors, and electives, or which are called distribution requirements, prerequisites, or electives as well, right? In Mount Allison University, say for example, if you are from commerce, not having mathematics, if you want to do a business course, there will be subjects. For example, let's talk about economics. If you're doing economics, you will study macro and microeconomics. We don't need math over there, right? If we need you to have certain calculation or calculus subjects to do certain courses, we will teach you calculus, but it does not mean that you already need to have that. Second concept of mix and match in detail in depth is that, for example, your majors vary between 60 to 78 credits. What are credits? Every textbook that we study has a value. The value is measured in credits, right? Every country has their own credits and degrees. Majors have 60 to 78 credits, right? Minors are around 24 credits. Electives are between 18 to 36. Total it up, it will go to 120. If I am doing BCom, my majors is in business, so my 69 credits are from business. Now I have 24 credits left in minors. I can select economics. I can select international economics and business. I can select psychology. I can select computer science. I can select GIS, Geographic Information Systems. I can select any course that I want, right? In electives, I can select my subjects as well. If I am not doing good in my minors, I can change them. But if I'm not doing good in my majors, if I'm not doing good in business, I can change to economics majors and minors in any other degree, in any other course. Not the degree, but in any other course. Similarly, if I'm a BSc student for biology background, if I'm doing BSc biology and my minors is in computer science, not relevant, but yeah, if I'm doing minors in computer science, majors in biology, I can do the degree together. If I'm not doing good with computer science, I can change it. If I'm not doing good with biology, I can still change it. So the benefit is that you can actually have an extra skill over the basic degrees if you are trying mix and match of courses, because like I said, I give a good example. If I'm 18 years old, I don't know about the market. First impression that I will have is the paycheck of my relative or somebody I know, that okay, he has done this kind of a course and he's earning this much. So I'll do the same course in the same degree. But when I actually start doing the same, I don't want to end up being an engineer working in bank, right? I don't want to be doing MBA and then selling tea and having a business of tea. So if I'm doing a course, if I'm getting good scores in that, I will continue the same degree. If I'm not getting, I will change my courses. Plus, when I am going with the guys having the same degrees with me, and if I have an additional course or additional skill, it will definitely help me excel in my career. So good example was business and psychology, right? You'll be the great boss if you're doing entrepreneurship in Mount Ellison, and if you are becoming an entrepreneur, and if you have studied psychology in your degree, they will definitely know that how your employees think, how your clients think. You will be able to retain your employees as well, and you will do better than other bosses, right? So these are a lot of options that we offer in Mount Ellison. I never ask a student to select those courses from India. Select your degree. We have academic advisors. They will advise you for your course of interest. Do mix and match, try your courses. If you're getting good grades, then it simply means that you are doing good in those subjects, then have a career in them. So that's an overall picture that we offer with mix and match. Yeah.
Perfect. So, most basically students actually in India who are studying the 11th and 12th, they don't know what to choose. This is a major big problem in India. So, we normally choose what our friend choose, or we choose what is in demand. We don't choose what we are good in, and we
Right.
don't know what we are good in. So that's a major problem. That's a big question mark. So, if you are going to Mount Allison University, you can take different subjects. You can understand the concepts. You can understand if you are good in that subject, if you like to have a career in that stream, and if not, you can jump to some other subjects. And you have an academic advisor who is going to guide you continuously. So you have the support of an academic advisor, and you are able to change. And you are able to change for 4 semesters, which is 2 years. So you can experiment yourself, understand what you are good in. Okay, it's not that you have taken a particular specialization and you have to live with that specialization because of one choice that you made. It doesn't have
Right.
to. You can jump, you can switch, you can understand about the different subjects, you can understand what is in that subject, you can understand the scope of that subject in future. And then when you're doing a subject, you will understand all these things. You will, because your teacher will tell you, your peers will tell you, you will basically network. All these things will help you to understand what it is, and then you are able to choose one that you are good in. And this is very important, because if you are good in what you are doing, you will be successful in your life. So very good concept. I actually loved the whole concept, the mix and match. The
Thank
second
you.
most important thing that I have liked about Mount Allison is the experiential learning. So, in India, when basically students graduate, they get their bachelor's, they get a master's, and they work as a peon, or they don't get jobs. When you work as a peon or you don't get job, that means, or the industry says you are not employable. So when you are not employable means probably you don't have that experiential learning that basically Mount Allison is talking about. So I want to know a little bit of the experiential learning as well, because that is a USP of Mount Allison University.
Definitely. See, um, I'll give you a great example for that. We have students in India who are doing courses like entrepreneurship, right? Do they actually get internships in entrepreneurship? No. Why? Entrepreneurship means that you have to open your business. So ask your dad to pay you some money, open a business, start with a restaurant or a cafe, run the business, show us how we are doing in the business, and then we'll give you the degree. That might be a case in few institutions across India, right? In Mount Ellison, we help the students open a business. If they need a monetary support, we help them monetarily as well. So even if you're doing a course like entrepreneurship, if you have a good proposal of a business and if you're a bright student, we will open up a business for you and help you run the business, see how you're doing in the business, and give you credentials for the same, as an academic credentials for the same. So even in entrepreneurship, you will have an experiential learning, a practical learning. We are offering aviation in BCom. Now, aviation is a pilot course where you need to complete certain hours of flying to get the license, right? The minimum requirement in Canada is 200 hours. We will make sure that the students complete 200 hours of flying. We will give them hundreds of hours of ground training. We will teach them about navigation, airplane instruments, weather conditions, etc. So we have our own, we have a conjunction with Moncton Flight College, which is an international airport 30 minutes away. Even if you're doing BCom in aviation, you will go to the airport, you will fly a plane. Right? You will get the practical experience, you will complete 200 hours and get a CPL. So experiential learning is there in every course. I will not say that all Indian institutions are not providing experiential learning. Yes, they are. Some of them are doing good with experiential learning. But the best part is you are designing your degree and still getting an option to do experiential learning. Right. So you are designing your degree in a way that is not made by somebody else in India or somebody else in Canada, maybe. And then you're also given an opportunity to do practical learning. So that will definitely enhance the education system that we have and your levels of, adopting the education.
Perfect. Very well said. The fact is that somehow our education system has made us fit in boxes. So the academic boxes that you have to fit in that particular box, and that's what you become in future. So here you have that flexibility of choosing, and experiential learning will help you to understand how it really works.
Right.
It will give you an understanding of how it really works. And when you know that, you understand when you're going in the market, you are not going to say that I don't know anything. I've learned all theoretical concept, but I don't know how to implement it. You know how to work with it, those concepts. So it gives you an edge over others. It tells you how you can implement those concepts. So very well, basically. The next very important point that I liked about Mount Allison is that you have single accommodation. Most universities have shared accommodations, twin sharing, or maybe triple sharing accommodations, and 70% of your accommodations are single sharing. And this is important because sometimes basically students don't want to have sharing accommodation. So you have that option of basically having a single sharing accommodation in case you're not comfortable with sharing accommodation. In case you want to share accommodation, the options are available. In case the options you don't want the sharing, there is a single sharing. And the cost is quite affordable. It's like 19,600 Canadian dollars with around 12,500 for the accommodation and living expenses. So you are going to cover everything, your tuition, your accommodation, your living expenses in basically in Mount Allison, the top ranked university. And I just want to know, you didn't mention anything about the scholarship. So is there any scholarship available? What type of scholarship available?
Thank you for reminding me of that. I almost forgot that. So we have two intakes open, and we only have two intakes, which is Jan and September intake. We have scholarships in September intake. One of them, the best one for Indian students, is entrance scholarship. So for entrance scholarship, you need to have at least like 70% in your 12th grade, and you need to apply to Mount Allison University before 1st of March. If you are applying before 1st of March, and if you have 70% or more in your 12th grade, if your final results are pending, you need to have a predicted score of 70 or more percentage, right? To apply to Mount Allison. The scholarship range is between 4,000 to 16,000 Canadian dollars, which is for the degree. So it will be 1,000 to 4,000 a year. It is a renewable scholarship, so students will need to retain their scores every year. However, if you have like 70, you can get the minimum scholarship. If you have 85, 90%, you can get the higher end scholarship right away. That's again a benefit for the students to save on cost.
Perfect. So a good 4,000 to 16,000 you said about scholarship
Yes,
per year?
yes.
Perfect.
For the degree, no, 4,000 to 16,000 for 4 years. It will be 1,000 to 4,000 per year.
Per year, okay. So 1,000 to $4,000 scholarship per year, which comes to $4,000 to $16,000 for the entire program. So that's a good amount of saving that you can do. And there is a deadline that is March, and predicted grades are acceptable in case you are in 12th. If your school is ready to give you predicted grades for 12th, then you can apply for this scholarship. The next basically is about the part-time jobs you have, and you told about you having good part-time jobs. 33% of your students are employed on campus, and then they are allowed to work off campus. There is summer internships, and there is, there are so many things. So how early can the students start working? Can the students start as soon as they join, or they have to wait for 3 months? What is the procedure?
Well, there are certain jobs for which you can apply sitting at your home before leaving for the university as well. There are certain jobs for which you need to be present physically on campus. But the best part is not 33%, 30%. We have 700 plus students working on campus. I'm just sharing my screen to get you in the same. Yeah. So we have 700 plus students working on campus. These jobs include being a campus ambassador, office interns, dining services, spa services, environmental auditors, library, computing services technicians, athletic center positions. These are very few, right? We have an experience MTA portal where you can actually apply for a job. There are summer internships and there are academic year internships. So when you're allowed to work part time, you can work part time as well. When you're allowed to work full time, which is during your summer gap, 4 months, you can allow. We will help you for an internship during that time as well. My suggestion to all students who are really interested to know the jobs that we have or to know what kind of categories of jobs do we have or internships do we have, go to the website, just search jobs on campus Mount Ellison, or you can say mta.ca current students and experience careers. Go to the website, click on the options, explore the options that we have, and see whether you will be able to make it or not. Even if you are not able to make it, you can get better options when you are there, right? Just to give you an idea, this is about being an entrepreneur at Mount Ellison. So you are, like I said, you are also getting a benefit of opening your own business if you need a funding for that from Mount Ellison, right? So go to the website, see the options that we have, and you will definitely love the on-campus employment that we have, the options that we have for on-campus employment.
Perfect. Wonderful. Mostly the student ask, the next question that comes immediately is, what is the pay rate for on-campus, off-campus jobs?
See, nobody will make you a manager if you're working part-time, honestly, right? Yeah, I know, but it is the fact. Yeah, you can get good paychecks if you are doing a good job in certain companies, and you get those as incentives for covering up certain work or job work in certain time period or exceeding the amount of requirements for a job. So you can definitely get more paycheck those ways. Usually the minimum wage rate in New Brunswick is 11.75. If you are working on campus, you can have better paycheck than the minimum wage rate. You can have like 12, 12.5, maybe 13 or $15 as well. So it depends on jobs to jobs on your work on campus. But yeah, you will always have an extra edge, extra dollar, extra benefit when you're working on campus.
Perfect. And on-campus or off-campus jobs are important because you get connected with people. It shows on your resume. You get more confidence dealing with people. You know how to basically manage yourself. When you earn, you understand the value of the rupee that you're going to earn or the dollar that you're going to earn. So there are so much of benefits. And when these kids come to India, you can see the maturity level of these kids who have studied abroad.
Yes, and to add on to that, see, we have been dealing with Ramesh or Rakesh, right? Or maybe somebody from. So if you are, for example, if you are in Western India, you must have got a friend from Southern India, Eastern India, or Northern India, right? But you don't have people from Nigeria, you don't have people from Bangladesh, you don't have people from Latin American countries or other African countries, right? You're not working with them. You're not having that culture in India. You're just 18 years old when you're going to Canada. So it is really important that you start working not just for the pocket change, but to understand the mentality of international students that there are in Canada, and also the citizens of Canada as well. Because you are not born and brought up in Canada. So you're going to Canada, you're going to study there, you're going to have a career in there. So it is important to get involved, understand the local people, their mentality, and that will help a lot to be successful in the country.
True, very true. It just broadens your thinking. It makes you more mature. And most important, like basically 4,000 to 16,000, you are reducing the cost. With this, you can also basically reduce your cost further, and this will make your education more affordable. So besides affordability, you have the most important thing is the work experience that you get. That's invaluable. And when you are going to network, you probably may get a job faster because you have networking with a lot of people. You may get a job before you finish your degree. So wonderful. Also, very important point of yours is the alumni, which is around 26,000 alumni network that you have. These alumni are very important. So I just want to know whether the student can connect to these alumni. Do you have an alumni platform? How can the student take the benefit of these alumni in getting jobs? Can you help me on that?
Yeah, so we have 25,000 plus alumni network. We have a platform for that as well, where students can directly connect with those and get the benefits. So, for example, if some of them is now having a business in Moncton, for example, and you want a job in there, you can definitely connect, right? If you are doing good with environmental studies and you see that one of the alumni is having their own company in Saskatchewan doing a research by the Canadian government for the environmental benefits in the location, you just need to send them a message or an email and get in touch, and you will get a lot of benefits to that, because that is the biggest asset of any university, right? So we have a huge number, 25,000 plus people connected over there. So yeah, you will get a lot of options, and we have a platform for that as well to stay connected with those.
Perfect. And these alumni are a very good source to get jobs. These alumni, because they are part of that university, so they will be happy to help you. Okay, so they are connected, so that type of connection is very important in today's world. The next basically I'm going to talk about is the transfer opportunities that you told. The transfer opportunity sounds very interesting because let's suppose a student has done 3 years of BCom in India. If he wants to go abroad in good universities and top universities, they require 16 years of education requirement. So their 3 years of bachelor's are not good enough. However, with the 3 years of bachelor's, probably he may get 2 years of credit and he can get into a top school for undergraduate program, which increases his chance of also getting into the master's program later. Or with the 2 years of bachelor's, he can still be eligible for 3 years of post-study work, and he will still be eligible to get a PR. So that's a wonderful concept. How easy or difficult it is to evaluate? How much time do you take to evaluate the course and let the student know how much credits he is going to get?
Timeline is sweet. It is a bit lengthy. It takes us like 45 days, right, to evaluate the credit transfer for a student. But the best part is when we are spending more time in evaluating, we are actually understanding what you have gone through, right? We value every student when we take our own time in evaluating. So maximum credit transfer is 2 years. If you have done your bachelor's in India, definitely you'll apply for a PG diploma, because like he rightly said, you won't get directly into masters in most of the universities, right? So rather than that, it is better to have a bachelor's again, because you will carry your credits from India. 120 for 4 years. If you're getting a credit transfer of 2 years, it means your 60 credits from India are getting carry forwarded to Canada. And you're getting 60 more credits from Canada and getting 120 credits degree, an undergrad bachelor's degree, right? So it is always beneficial, may it be for PR, may it be for getting jobs, may it be for getting admissions into masters. It is always going to be beneficial compared to a diploma, right? Second thing is, it's not just the benefits, but it is definitely the benefit of mixing and matching courses. For example, if you're getting 1 year's credit transfer, you still have 1 more year to try a few courses. So even if you are mathematically wasting 1 more year, if you are still doing 3 years degree in there, you're wasting 1 more year, but somewhere you are not wasting it. You're trying your courses, you are getting the best opportunity, and then doing your degree. And I think that will be a major reason because of doing a degree in India and then going abroad for further studies. So you need to enhance yourself. You need new courses. somewhere you are not getting a good career through that course. That is one of the major reason why you're coming to Canada, right? So why not try a few new courses? So these are the benefits that you can have with credit transfer in Mount Ellison. Maximum is 2 years. We will take 45 days to evaluate. You need to fill in the application first. Once you get your offer letter, pay your tuition deposit of 250 Canadian dollars, and then we'll start evaluating you for the credit transfer. And by the way, the application form fees is 50 Canadian dollars.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. How much is the application fee you said?
50 Canadian dollars.
Okay. Is there a waiver for us?
Waiver depends on case to case. If there's a student with good grades, we might help them with a fee waiver.
Perfect. What I wanted to ask was, regarding this transfer program that you said, it will help basically to student to get to a top university, and also basically, after the 2 years he is allowed to work, 3 years, or he can go for a master's program. The international work experience that he is going to do will help him also basically to get in the master's program, because the type of work that you are going to get in India may not match the work experience that you will actually get in Canada. The last thing that you said is about the immigration, that the immigrations are faster when you are applying for Canada. It's definitely that you have to become self-independent, you have to work, you have to get a job offer letter, you have to be, but then if you want to settle, you get immigration which is faster, less than 2 years. Am I right?
So Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program is a program where you can apply for a permanent residency once you have your offer letter. So if you're done with your degree and you're getting an offer in like 6 months, you're eligible for, you're eligible to apply for EIPP. So it's really quick, and the results are out really quick, right? You get it done really quick. So yeah, and if you're doing a bachelor's, that will definitely increase your CRS points compared to a diploma or a PG diploma.
Perfect. The last question that I was saying was that there are many students who are applying to US or obviously other countries who are taking TOEFL, who are taking Duolingo, who are taking PT. There are very few universities that accept TOEFL, IELTS, PT in Canada, whereas Mount Ellison University, being the top ranked university, accepts all these scores. So even if you apply to those countries and you want to apply to Canada as well, then you can apply that and you can take that opportunity. And once you get your admission offer letter, then to meet the visa requirement later, you can take the IELTS. So that's a good option that you have.
Right. Yes, we are accepting these English tests, and we are also accepting few more like Cambridge assessment English language test as well. Like CEL is also accepted, and there are a few more that we accept. So I will always suggest students to go to the website and see the actual requirements of those courses as well. So if you are from Cambridge board, or if you have given Cambridge exams, that will help you as well.
Okay. The last question is, if the student is interested, he applies, how early can you get the decision? How early can he get it, or he or she get the decision?
The offer letter TET is usually 15 to 20 working days. But we do understand that you need your offer letters on time for visas, and the visas will also have their own timeline. So we will help you for the same as soon as possible. So yeah, 15 to 20 days is a TAT, but we will try to do it as early as possible.
Thank you, Sujit. Thank you for taking all those questions and answering them superbly well. I know, very thankful to you basically for the wonderful presentation and for answering this question, all those questions. I wish you all the best. I'm sure a lot of students will take the benefit because this is going on YouTube, as I know it's mentioned. So students can basically apply to Mount Ellison University, take the benefit of it. If you want to get, if your profile is good, you can send the profile to us, or if you are on a WhatsApp group, you can contact the admin, you can send the profile to us, we can get the profile evaluated probably, and probably you will get your application fee waiver. So you have a chance of application fee waiver, you have a chance of getting scholarship, you have a chance of getting to one of the best universities in Canada, you have a chance of getting a mix and match program where you can test yourself what you are good in, you have a chance of getting jobs on campus, off campus, summer internships. One thing that I did not ask was about the placements. Do you have a placement service, and how is it?
Oh, I would love to see companies actually, evaluating students as per mix and match. Not all universities are offering mix and match. So if I go up to an IT firm and tell them that, they take placements from Mount Ellison, they'll be like, yeah, but your students have geocomputing as well. I mean, do we make them a GPS analyst, a GIS analyst, a software designer? They have a lot of options as a career, right? So we have no specific placements because the students, those are doing those degrees, have better options than the basic placements. Being a liberal arts and sciences university, we give them more opportunities with their degree itself. So when they are working in the university, we have our own job portal in the university portal as well. The students can apply for jobs in companies with their education, right, during their summer gap. So yeah, that ways they can help, we can help them get a placement in those ways while they are working during their degree and get a job after the degree, but no specific placements like we have in engineering and such courses.
That's wonderful. The
I'm sorry.
important thing is once you get connected with companies, you work for summer workshops, summer internships, you know people from the industry. That means you are able to work in that industry, or you use your alumni network, and through that basically. But that's a good way of basically getting jobs. Thank you, Sujit, again, basically for answering that, and have a good weekend. And thank you again.
Thank you, Richard, and everyone for having me here. Thank you to the entire team of EACC. And yeah, I'm glad you students and the viewers are able to see this because of these guys. So thanks again for that. If you guys need any information, you know whom to reach out to, right? This is just a short brief of the university. There are many more details that you might have, that you might ask for, many more questions that you might ask for. So feel free to reach out to the team. And if you need to connect with me, Richard is just a call away. So we can also get connected. Yeah. So thank you again, guys, for having me here. And I wish you also have a wonderful weekend.